Hello guys, welcome to another video, and on this video we are going to go and implement network address translation, and also we are going to be doing port address translation, and we are going to be using the IT Pro TV Labs. And if you do not have IT Pro TV, just go ahead and go to the IT Pro TV website at itpro.tv, and when you get to that website, if you don't have an account, go ahead and create an account, and when you get there, they are going to give you a 7-day free trial. Hey, it is free stuff. So go ahead and try for 7 days. And if you like it, when you sign up, just make sure to use my promo code Oscar Ogando 2 and you will get 30% off your purchase. So after 7 days, then we are going to go ahead and charge you. But if you use my promo code, they are going to give you 30% off. Just if you like it. It's free stuff. Why not sign up and get a 7-day trial? And if you like it, what they have to offer, like they have tests that you can take there, and you can also do real labs with real Cisco routers and switches, like I'm doing right now. And also they have Windows devices that you can use. You can go ahead and pay for it. And when you pay for it, use my promo code Oscar Oganda 2 and you will get 30% off. So let's go ahead and start with this lab. And the lab that I'm using, if you go into the CCNA security um, course that they have here, you are going to click on launch or show virtual labs. And the labs that I'm using is lab number 8, which is implement network address translation and port address translation. So go ahead and go over there. And then it's going to launch this lab over here. And what you need to do, if they're not turned on, you need to turn on this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 devices, the NYH1, H2, Core 1, Core 2, the NY Access 1, and the P Labs CSC 001. Okay, and you can see the diagram of how they are all connected with each other. And I also have a picture over here of them so we can refer to them when we are configuring. So let's go ahead and go to the next tab. And on this exercise number 1, what we're going to do is going to be translated the inside source address. So it gives you a good description of what you're going to be doing, which is really cool. And they also have the diagram over here. So this is the diagram that we're going to be using. Really cool. So let's go ahead and read all of this. So in this exercise, you'll be learn how to configure and verify network address translation, translating inside hosts on the 192.168.16.0 subnet, such that they will get a new source IP address as it pass out of router NYH1. Okay, in this example, you will see two different source hosts, NY Core 1 and NY Core 2. These two over here. To use different translation methods so that they get new IP addresses on the 172.14.0.0.24 subnet to enable communication to devices on this subnet. NYH1 is configured as a default gateway for NY Core 1, Core 2, and PC and this lab over here, which is this server right here. It has interfaces 192.168.16/0/24 subnet and 172.14.0.0/24 subnet. You can see the diagram over here. Okay, that looks good. Um, and NYH2, on the other hand, only has an interface configured on the 172.14.0.0 subnet, which is this one right here, as you can see. And this makes it a prime candidate to test out NAT configuration. We will translate this IP address, the IP address of this lab over here, or this Windows device, such that it gets a 172.14 address and NYH2 is able to communicate to it. There is also another device, actually two, that you do not have access to that can be used as test remote devices. These also don't have any configuration to understand the 192.168.16.0 subnet, so they are two good test candidates. Okay, so that's good. let's go to task number one. And on task number one, we are going to enable NAT. We need to configure the following items, define our inside and our outside interfaces. We need to create an access list to match the specific traffic that we want to translate, a NAT statement, static how the translations occur, optional, a pool of addresses that NAT can use as translation addresses. So the first step that you need to do is you need to make sure that this server over here is on. I have it on over already. So step two, first, let's define our inside and outside interfaces. In this example, gigabit 00 is our interface, inside interface, as it connects to our internal network. Therefore, gigabit 01 is our outside interface. So 00 is inside, and this one is the outside. Okay, let's see where I was over here. It's our outside interface as it connects to the devices outside of our network. Fairly logically, if you think about it, the terms inside and outside. To configure this, use the following commands. So let's go ahead and go into NYH1. Let's go to config T like always. And we're going to go into interface. You can use the interface gigabit 00. And from over here, we're going to do IP NAT inside to just tell it that it is the inside. And then um, we are going to go into interface gigabit 01. So interface gigabit 01. And we're going to tell our IP NAT is going to be the outside. Great. So we have done that. So we were just saying that um, this one is going to be the inside, and this one is going to be the outside. So for step number three, next we need to configure an access list that matches the traffic we want to translate. In this example, we want to translate anything from the subnet 192.168.16.0, which is this one right here, which is the inside, destined to 172.14.0.0, which is the outside, this one right here. Okay. We will use a name extended access list for this. We will get a little more advanced with our nets and use two different approaches. This will become clearer in the coming steps, but first create an access list. Let's go ahead and create an access list. IP access list. We're going to do an extended and we're going to call this match ICMP, and we're going to permit ICMP host. ICMP host 192.168.16.5, and the other host is 172.14.0.2, which I believe is this IP address over here of gigabit 01 is 172.14.0.2, and the one that we want to match, I believe, is this one right here of the server, which is 192.168.16.5. Okay, so after we do that, you're just going to go and exit. We have configured our extended or named extended access list. Now we're going to step forward because we are not overloading. We're not going to use PAT or port address translation. We either need to create a static translation, each source to a specific translated address, or create a pool for the router to pick outside addresses from. But in this example, we will do both. We will create a pool for the ICMP match of NY Core 1, okay? And we will create a static translation if we try to communicate to NYH2 from NY Core 1. So let's go ahead and do that. IPNet pool, and we're going to call this pool ICMP pool 172.14.0.16 and all the way to 172.14.0.32. So this is the pool that we're going to be using, a net mask of /24. Okay, so that's good. Now we are going to step 5, and now we need to bind everything together in NAT statements because we want two different types of NATs. We need two different NAT commands. So for the pool for ICMP, what you need to do, you need to do IP NAT inside source. We're going to use a list, which is the access list that we created, which is match ICMP pool ICMP pool. So what it's telling you right now is that we are going to use the IP NAT inside, and the source is going to be an ACL or an access list that we created, and we call match ICMP, and we're going to match it to a pool that we created, which is ICMP pool that we created right here. Okay, let's go ahead and press enter. So that is done. We have created the pool. So now we need to create a static network address translation, and you can do IP NAT inside source. It's going to be static. It's not going to be a list anymore, right? And then you're going to do 192.168.16.6, 172.14.0.33. Enter. So we did both translations. One was the static, which is only going to be using this from the inside, and when it goes outside, it's going to be using that one. And the one before that we did was a source using a list, which is match ICMP, which is an extended access list that we created. And then we're using a pool of IP addresses. So we're using a lot of IP addresses, and this one is only one IP address. So step 6, let's go ahead and end it, and let's do a show IP NAT translations, and you can see you check the translation table that has been created. You should see the static translation in the table already. Use the show IP NAT translation like we use, and you can see it right here, the same as what they have given us right here. So it's working good. Now let's go ahead to step 7. We're going to test the NAT configuration by connecting to NY core 1 and pinging 172.14.0.2. Then connect to NY core 2 and ping this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and ping 172.14.0.2. We were able to do it. And now let's go ahead into NY edge 2, right? No, we need to go to NY core 2. So NY core 2. And from here, we got to ping 172.14.0.3. And we're able to ping it. The first one fails because of ARP, but it is good. So you can see right here, we have the same results. Oh, actually, we need to go to NY core 1 and ping 172.14.0.2, not for NY edge 1. So let's go ahead and do that again. Ping 172.14.0.2. Right, for NY 172.14.0.2. So we're not able to ping right now. We're able to ping for NY core 1, but not NY core 2. It's a 30, I think, believe it's 30. Oh, it's 33 that we need to do, not, it is that too. Let me verify. So you want to ping. Why is it not working? 172. Let's verify this. It's working. And we're core 1. So for some reason, we're not able to do that. Let's try it again. For some reason, it's not working. Let's go ahead and go head to step number 8. We want to view the translation table on NYH1 again. So let's go ahead and do a show IPNAT translations. And we only see one. Let me verify that I did this correctly. So IPNAT 16.6 to 172.14.0.33. That's good. And we are permitted. Let's go ahead into the pool. Okay, so this one is wrong. That's what it is. The pool that we're using for this one, config T, let's say no, IPNet inside source list match ICMP pool, ICMP or ICM pool. So this one needs to be ICMP and then pool. Okay, let's go ahead and go into NY Core 1 and let's try to paint again. We're still not able to do that. Let's go ahead and keep verifying. What else I configure wrong? Match. Okay, so this access list was, I forgot a C in it, so it needs to be math ICMP. Okay, let's go ahead and try this again. Let's go ahead and deny this, and let's go ahead and add it again. Math is supposed to be math because I configured it wrong. Let's go ahead and go into NY Core 1. Let's try to paint again. And there we go. So it was just that I configured incorrectly. That's what happened. But now we are able to ping and we can just go ahead and move on. And we were into step number 8. And we need to go into the view the translation of N1H1. And if you go to end it, show IP translations, you can see now that we have more translations. As you can see right here, we have the same as the one on step number 8. So that's good. So now here we can see that our nets are working as expected, and worker 1 is taking the first address from the net pool, which is 172.14.0.16, this one right here. And NY Core 2 is using its static translation, and NY Core 2 is using its static translation of 172.14.0.33. So you have successfully configured NAT. If you get ping responses on both the core switches, continue on the next exercise, leaving the device's power on. Good. Go ahead and keep going. So now this exercise, we will configure PAT or port address translation, such as the plab can browse to the website practice-labs.com. This is hosted on a shared infrastructure server, which is only accessible if you configure NAT correctly. Okay, so first ensure that plab is powered on. Hopefully you power this device on in the previous exercise, saving some time here. That's good. So we want to browse to this website. So let's go to the plab. Let's go into Internet Explorer and let's go ahead and www.practice-labs.com. Let's go ahead and click yes. And note that your page may look differently, but ultimately it fails as it goes to Bing. Yep, so it goes to Bing, so it is now working correctly. So we want to go into step number two. Let's go into NYH1 and configure a new access list matching HTTP from the source of our inside subnet. So we have to go ahead and do that from NYH1, config T, and we are going to create an access list. This one is going to be an extended access list, which is access list 100. We're going to permit TCP from 192, which is the inside host, 16.0 to 55 wildcard mask to the outside, which is going to be 15.0.0.0. And then we have to do this wildcard mask. And then we're going to say equal to 80, which is HTTP. Okay. The next step, we need to configure the NAT statement to cause traffic matching access list 100 to do a path overload or port address translation. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do this right here. IPNet inside source. We're going to use a list, which is an access list, and it's going to be number 100. Okay. Oops, and it's going to be coming from the interface gigabit 0/1, and it's going to be using overload. Great. So now you're going to retest your browsing session by typing in the URL again in the address bar. So let's go ahead and go into the server. And can we do just a copy and paste? You know me. And there we go. It says, congratulations, you are connected to the web server. Click here to download a large file. And as you can see right here, the screenshot of a successful connection to the web server, the web page displays a success message after connecting to the web server. So we have configured port path address translation. So now if we see the translations on NYH1, we should be able to see the translation. So show IPNet translations. You can see it. Um, I believe this tool right here because it's doing pat which is doing port address translation. The way that it does that is it just takes the same IP address of that interface and then it just adds a port number. So that has worked correctly. So in this output, you can see that 192.168.10, which is the server, has been translated, right? This one has been translated into 172.14.0.1 NYH1 gigabit 01 interface, which is this one right here. And it just added a port, like I told you before. So now let's go ahead and go into step number 4. Okay, so we are done. So what we have done is we have configured network address translation using a pool, and also we use a static NAT. And then to end it, we configure a port address translation or PAT or NAT overload, whatever you want to call it. So this is it for this video, guys. And like I said, if you guys want to sign up for IT Pro TV, they give you a 7-day trial. So if you want to sign up, you can go ahead and use my promo code OscarOgando2, and they will give you 30% off of your purchase, and you will also get a 7-day trial, a 7-day free trial. So they will not charge you into after 7 days. So go ahead and try it. I guarantee you guys are going to like it. And then after you like it, if you want to continue, and if you use that promo code OscarOgando2, you will get 30% off of your entire purchase. So this is it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this practice lab. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye bye.